Yes, yes, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna be going to live on Zoom here in a minute, folks. So let's get ready. Okay. All right, I think I'm ready. Okay, let's go.
Ready.
Good morning, everyone. All righty. Raise your hand so let me know that y'all can hear me. Raise your hands. Can y'all hear me? All right, awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and swear you in, and this time I want you to raise your right hand. Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm all information you'll give the court this morning will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Please put your hands down. I'm Judge Cooper, the presiding magistrate. This is the 18th day of October. Now I'm gonna take a couple minutes to speak with you all because I think it's important that you understand what's going on. First, I'm not here to get any information regarding what may have happened out in the streets or anything like that. Before me this morning, you're an accused. And as an accused, first, you're not guilty of anything, and you have some rights. So I'm gonna talk to you about your rights. Second, if I'm authorized to set bail for you, I'm gonna set bail for you. I'm gonna appoint an attorney to represent you. Talk to you about your next court date. And that's it. So one, advise you of your rights, set bail on those, set bond or bail on those offenses for which I'm authorized to set bail. Talk to you about appointed court attorney and schedule the next preliminary hearing date. All righty, first, your rights. As an accused, you have the right to remain silent. If you give up that right, anything you say during this proceedings may be used against you should your case go to trial. During this and all proceedings, you're presumed innocent until the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to an indictment by grand jury if you're charged with a felony, or by accusation if you're charged with a misdemeanor. You have the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and cross-examine witnesses or called to testify against you. You also have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. You also have the right to testify and offer evidence in your own defense. But should you choose not to do so, there can be no presumption of guilt raised by you choosing not to do so. Now, you have the right to an attorney, and per the order of our Chief Judge, Wanda Dallas, we're going to appoint an attorney to represent everyone to make sure your rights are protected. However, should you choose, you may hire your own attorney also. Now, in appointing an attorney to represent you, either that attorney or someone from that attorney's office is to come and see you within 72 hours. That's the person whom you tell whatever, because as a judge, I'm not authorized to help you other than give you the information regarding your next court date and so forth. So if there's any specific stuff, that's who you speak to, your attorney. Now, let's talk about bond. Some of you will be allowed to pose unrestricted bond for your release from jail pending the prosecution of the case. Bond may be posted using cash, commercial, or property. First, cash. If I say your bond is $3,000 and you have a family member or friend with that amount of funds, they come and they place that cash with the sheriff. And when your case is over, that person goes and they get the full amount of their funds back. If you do not have someone with that amount of funds, then you can use a commercial bonding company. The difference is the commercial bonding company charges 10 to 15% off your bond. So for a $3,000 bond, they may charge a family member or friend $400 or so. Now, your friend pays the bonding company that $400. The bonding company comes and pays your bond. The difference is the funds paid to the bonding company, that's their fee. No one gets that back. Or you may use property. If you have a family member or friend who have a deed to property where they have about 4 times the amount of your bond in equity, they come and they pledge the deed to their property. Once the case is over with, they go and they get their deed back. Now, on all bonds, there are general conditions that while on bond, you'll remain law-abiding. That's a general condition on all bond. Some folks may have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting a person, often going around a certain place. Understand if you violate that, okay, you could be subjected to a new charge, but also quite importantly, you'll not be able to make a bond for the remainder of the process. Folks, that's very serious. For example, if you contact John and I say don't contact John, you could have a new charge of witness intimidation or maybe aggravated stalking, which carries a 10-year, $10,000 fine. So again, I'm sorry, 10 years or up to $20,000 in fine. So again, special conditions, do not violate them. Now, if your family member is listed as a victim on the warrant, that family member will not be allowed to post bond for you. If a family member is listed as a victim on the warrant, that family member will not be allowed to post bond for you. Now, if you're charged with a misdemeanor offense, the next court date for misdemeanors is November 2nd. If you make bond, and I'll encourage everybody to make bond so you can take care of your business. If you make bond, that court date will be canceled and you'll get your next court date in the mail. Your court date will be later on in the year, maybe even into 2021. So again, if you're charged with a misdemeanor and you make bond, your court date of November the 2nd will be canceled and you'll get your next court date in the mail. Now, if you have a misdemeanor charge, you may also choose to speed it up. If you want your case handled quickly, then you may waive that court date and you'll have a next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. So again, if you want to speed it up, you may waive and you'll have a next court date in the next 7 to 10 business days. If you're charged with a felony, the court date for felony is November the 18th. If you're charged with a felony, you will not have the option of waiving your preliminary hearing. So that's about it. At this point, I'm gonna release you back to the deputies. We're gonna give you instructions on coming up to the podium. When you get up to the podium, please sound off so I can hear your name. I wanna make sure that I have the right person. Thank you for your attention. Thanks.
Say your name.
Jetta Chapman.
Good morning, Ms. Chapman. Ms. Chapman, it's alleged that you committed the offense of aggravated assault. Do you understand that allegation, ma'am, or do you require me to read it to you?
I understand it.
Now, Ms. Chapman, the bond in those matters is $8,000. Will you be able to make bond, Ms. Chapman?
Yes, I should. Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, Ms. Chapman, there is a condition of that bond. Of course, you've heard me say about, not breaking any laws, but there's a special condition, and you're not to have any violent contact with Ronisha Chapman. Now, you can be around that person, okay, but you can't get into any more pushing, shoving, or anything of that. All righty. I'm appointing counsel to assist you. Your next court date is, again, November 18th of November at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. November 18th, 8 a.m., 201. Thank you, Ms. Chapman.
Folks,
Ms. Alexia, good morning. Ma'am, it's alleged that you committed the offense of battery. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read it to you?
Can you read it, please?
Yes, ma'am. It said that you committed the offense of simple battery at 3954 Kimber Court, and that you struck the victim, Patrick Edwards. And then there's some more stuff, but that's basically it. Now, ma'am, the bond is normally $2,000, but I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out. There's a condition of your bonds that you're to have no violent contact with Patrick Edwards, okay? No more pushing, shoving, fighting of that nature. Again, if you violate that, you'll be rearrested and not allowed to make bond. Do you understand, ma'am? Okay, your next court date, ma'am, is November the 2nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. November 2nd, 8 a.m., 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Zoe Hendrickson.
Good morning, Ms. Hendrickson. Ms. Hendrickson, it's alleged you committed the offense of criminal trespass and simple battery. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read them to you, ma'am?
May you please read the criminal trespassing?
Okay. I'll just read the whole thing. Simple battery, when you intentionally made physical contact, when you balled up your fist and started hitting the victim, your boyfriend, Mr. Ray, you intentionally damage his property without his consent. That's a trespass, by damaging the property of another without their consent, by throwing his Xbox on the ground. Now, Ms. Hendrickson, The bond, total bond will be $4,000, but I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out today. There is a special condition, is that you're not to have any violent contact with Mr. Ray. You can go back home, just no pushing, shoving, don't break his stuff. Can you handle that, ma'am?
Sure.
All right, your next court date, ma'am, is November the 2nd, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. November 2nd, 8 a.m., 201. Thank you, ma'am. Your name, please?
Tatiana Wilson.
Okay, Tatiana Horton. All right, Ms. Horton, it's alleged you committed the offense of aggravated assault. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read it to you?
I understand.
All righty. The bond is $10,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
I don't know.
Understand. All righty. When you do make bond, okay, I'm going to allow you to go back home and be around your brother, but, you know, you can't get into any fighting, all right?
Yes.
All right. It's a simple requirement. Now, your next court date, Ms. Horton, is November 18th, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. November 18th, 8 a.m., 201. Thank you, ma'am.
Zakaya Morgan.
Ms. Morgan, give me a second.
Your Honor, I remember.
Zakia Morgan, good morning. I overlooked your file here. Ms. Morgan, it's alleged that you have one count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, as well as improper passing of an emergency vehicle. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read them to you?
Understand.
All right, ma'am, your bond this morning will be $10,500. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Morgan, your court date is going to be November the 18th, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. November 18th, 8 a.m., 201. And again, I've appointed counsel to assist you. Okay, ma'am?
For my the passing of emergency vehicles, what
Well,
that's just 2 days time served, 3 days time served, right?
ma'am, I don't get into that business. My job is to set bond and to make sure you understand the allegations against you. So I'll let your attorney work that out with the prosecutor. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Please. Step up, say your name.
Layla Turner.
Ms. Turner, good morning. Ms. Turner, it's alleged you committed the offense of theft by shoplifting. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read it to you? Yes, ma'am. It says that you concealed and take possession of merchandise, to wit, 7 packages of hair with a value less than $5,000 from the owner, Cosmos Beauty Supplies. And you opened the packages of hair and placed them down your pants and left the store without paying. That's the essence of the allegation. Now, ma'am, your bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, ma'am?
Yes, I should.
Okay. Now, because it's a misdemeanor, your court date is the 2nd of November. Again, if you make bond, that day will get canceled and you'll get your court date later on in the year. Or if you desire to speed it up, we can waive that and you have an next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. What is your desire? Would you rather make bond and let it deal with it later, or do you want to deal with it quickly?
I would like to try to deal with it quickly.
All righty. The deputy there will have you sign something, and I'll process it so that the clerk know you want to deal with it quickly. Thank you very much, ma'am.
You had to ask me a question?
I was gonna ask, do I still, if I make bond, I still get to do the court date early, right?
If you make bond, everything will get canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail.
Okay.
All right. Morning, sir.
How you doing?
Not too bad. Give me 1 second, please. All right. What is your name, sir?
Your Honor.
Mr. Bronner, it's alleged you committed the following offenses: obstruction of an officer, a red light violation, and driving along the divided highway. Do you understand the allegations, Mr. Bronner, or do you want me to read them to you?
No, can you read them to me, sir?
Alrighty. Says you were operating a 2014 Jeep Patriot while traveling southbound on Old Dixie Road. You failed to obey the instruction of an official traffic control device at Tower Road. While at a red light, you went around the vehicles that were stopped at the intersection. You drove across the gore to the left. And while conducting a traffic stop, you exited the vehicle and ran from officers. That's the allegations, sir. Your bond this morning, sir, is $3,500. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, your offenses are a misdemeanor, so your court date is November the 2nd. If you make bond, that day will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. That court date may be even into next year. Or you have the option, if you want to speed it up, you'll waive them. You'll waive your preliminary hearing, and you'll be in front of a judge within the next 7 to 10 business days. What is your decision? Do you want to try to make bond, or do you want to speed it up?
I would like to try to make bond.
All right. So again, court date I'm putting down here is the 2nd of November. But if you make bond, that day will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Oh, not you. Oh,
Good morning, sir. What is your name, please? Mr. Carter, it's alleged that you violated the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Do you understand the allegation, sir, or do you want me to read it to you?
Read some, sir.
All righty. You possess white powdery substance wrapped in a plastic, believed to be cocaine. You acknowledge that the substance belonged to you and that it was cocaine. That's probably enough that I need to read. That's basically the allegations. Mr. Carter, your bond is $10,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Carter? All right, Mr. Carter, again, I'm appointing counsel to assist you. Your next court date, Mr. Carter, is November the 18th at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. All right, thank you, Mr. Carter. November 18th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. Thank you. All righty. What's your name, sir?
Charles Block. Charles.
Gibla? Charles Gibla? Okay, I think I got it right. GBLA? All right, thank you, sir. Sir, it's alleged that you improper lane change, reckless driving, as well as possess marijuana 1 ounce or less. Do you understand the allegations, or do you require me to read them to you?
I do understand.
All righty, I'm going to call you Mr. Charles. The bond is $3,500. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Charles?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Charles, because you're charged with a misdemeanor, the court date is November the 2nd. If you make bond, that court date will be canceled, and you get an next court date in the mail. Or, Mr. Charles, if you decide you want to speed it up, then you can waive that preliminary hearing, and you'll be in front of another judge in the next 7 to 10 business days. What is your decision? You want to keep that court date and make bond, or do you want to speed it up?
Keep the cut that make bond.
All right, sir. I'm gonna put down here 11/2/20. But again, if you make bond, that day will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. Thank you, sir.
Good point.
Good morning, Mr. Glanton. Yes, sir. Sir, it's alleged that you committed the following offenses: hit and run accident, not having a license, and failed to yield while making a turning left. Do you understand the allegations, or do you want me to read them to you?
I understand.
All right, Mr. Glanton, your bond this morning, sir, is $3,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Glanton? All right, Mr. Glanton, you're charged with misdemeanors. So if you make bond, the court date right now is November the 2nd. If you make bond, that day will be canceled, and you get your next court date in the mail. Or you may choose to speed it up by waiving that preliminary court date, and you'll be in front of another judge in the next 7 to 10 business days. What is your decision? Do you want to speed it up, or do you want to keep that court date and make bond?
Want to keep the court date and make bond?
Yes, sir. All righty. Thank you, sir. And again, when you make bond, that court date will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Good morning, eh, Mr. Green? Are you Mr. Green?
Oh, no, I'm Grady, Xavier Grady.
Xavier? Okay, got it. Xavier Joel, yes?
Xavier Grady.
That's me. Xavier Brady, Judge.
Okay, hold on. Right now. I have an Xavier Joel Kluttz. That's not you.
I'm Xavier Grady.
Hold on. Mr. Grady, seems like I didn't pay close enough attention here. Give me 1 second. All right, Mr. Grady, you committed the offense of battery. The bond in those matters is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Grady? All right, Mr. Grady. You're charged with a misdemeanor offense. So if you make bond, the court date is scheduled for November the 2nd. If you make bond, that day will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. There's a condition of your bond that you're not to have any contact. What's the proper spelling of that person's name, please?
P-A-R-S.
Go ahead.
H-O-W-R-D.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I could not understand the officer's writing. All righty, you're to have no violent contact, all right? You can be around him, but no fighting, all right, sir? All righty, again, your next court date is November the 2nd, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. If you make bond, that day will be canceled, or you have an option of waiving that preliminary hearing and having court within the next 7 to 10 business days. What is your decision? You want to keep that and try to make bond, or you want me to speed it up?
I can keep it and try and make mine.
All right, sir. Have a good day now. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Your name, please?
Kenneth Green, sir. I mean, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Is it Green?
Kenneth Green. Kenneth.
Green. Got it. I have it, sir. Thank you. Mr. Green, it said you drove with a suspended or revoked license. Do you understand the allegation, or do you require me to read it to you, Mr. Green?
It's for child support, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I understand.
All righty. Mr. Green, the bond is $1,500. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Green?
1,500.
Yes, sir.
May I speak, please? They told me it was 1,800 at first. Yes, I was wondering, could you drop it a little bit so I can make bond? No,
Everybody has to be treated equally, sir.
I understand. So how much is the bond again, sir? I mean,
It's 1,500 is what the bond is. Now, Mr. Green, if you make bond, the court date right now is scheduled for November the 2nd. If you make bond, that day will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. If you think you may have difficulty making bond, Mr. Green, then you can speed it up and you'll have your next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. That's called waiving. So what do you want to do, Mr. Green? You want to keep that court date and make bond, or you want to try to speed it up?
I would like to make bond, Your Honor.
All righty. So I'm going to put down here November the 2nd at 8 a.m. But again, if you make bond, that day will be canceled. All right. Thank you, Mr. Green. All righty. Yeah. Hello, sir. Your name, please?
Very well, Klutz.
Mr. Xavier, you're charged with theft by receiving stolen property, possession of a weapon during a crime, as well as loitering or prowling. Your bond this morning, sir, is $21,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Again, I'm appointing counsel to assist you. Your court date is going to be on November 18th, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. November 18th, 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. Thank you, sir. Hello, sir. What's your name, please?
Magistrate.
Say your name.
How you doing, Judge?
I'm good. I'm good. You said, give me the name again one more time.
Spell Eulandia, right? But it's pronounced Eulandis.
Wow. I want to make sure I got it right. Okay. Elias.
Mm-mm.
All right. I didn't hear it very well. One more time.
Eulandis, right?
Elandis Ray.
Oh, he's not next, Your Honor, but
I
this,
got it. Okay. Middle name Carter, C-A-R-T-A. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. All righty, Mr. Ray. It's alleged you committed the offenses of simple assault, as well as possession of marijuana, 1 ounce or less. Do you understand that allegation, Mr. Ray, or do you want me to read it to you?
I understand it.
Now, Mr. Ray, the bond is $3,500. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Ray?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Ray, I'm putting in a condition here. Okay, normally the standard is you can't go back around that person, can't go back around that house. But no one needs to be homeless these days. So I'm allowing you to be able to go back to the home, but you'd have no violent contact with Zoe, okay? Can you handle that, sir?
Yes, sir. I just need to receive my belongings from that location.
That's fine. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll put up on here that, well, that's fine. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put here that contact the sheriff. They will go with you to make sure you get your stuff. So therefore, there's no issues while you're there getting your stuff. All right, sir? Now, Mr. Ray, your court date is November 2nd. Okay, now if you make bond, that day will get canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Or if you like to speed it up, you can waive and you'll have your next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. What would you like to do, sir? Would you like to speed it up, or you rather make bond and have it dealt with later on in the year?
I make bond and have it dealt with later on in the year.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ray, and all the best to you, sir. Yes, sir.
oh, no, wait. You got it? This is Mr. Ningara Islas.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good morning, sir. Sir, it is alleged you obstructed or hindered a firefighter. Do you understand the allegation, sir?
They told me it's EMF.
Yeah. Right. Okay, the bond is $2,000. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Your court date is scheduled for November 2nd. But if you make bond, that day will get canceled and you get your court date in the mail. It's going to be for later in the year, maybe even into next year. Or if you would like, you can speed it up, in which case you'll have your court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. But again, if you make bond, even if you were to speed it up, if you make bond, your court date will be canceled. So would you like to speed it up, or are you just going to try to make bond?
I'll make bond, sir.
All righty, sir. All righty. Thank you. And have a good one. And again, I'm appointing counsel to assist you. All right.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Morning, Judge. Running review.
Yes, sir. Sir, it's alleged you drove DUI, alcohol less safe, as well as impeding traffic flow. Do you understand the allegations, or do you want me to read it to you?
I understand.
All right. Your bond this morning, sir, is $4,500. Will you be able to make bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
All righty. You're charged with a misdemeanor. So the court date for misdemeanor is November the 2nd. And again, if you make bond, that day will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Do you understand? Or you do have the option of speeding it up. If you do decide you want to speed it up, you'll have a next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. Do you want to just make bond? I guess that's the bottom line. All righty, thanks. You're gonna get your next court date in the mail. Thank you. Yes, sir. Sir, it's alleged that you drove without your license on your person. You made an improper turn signal and an improper lane change. You understand the allegations, or do you want me to read them to you?
No, sir. I understand.
All right, Mr. Troublefield, the bond will be $1,500, but I'm going to allow you to sign yourself out today. Your next court date, sir, is on the 2nd of November at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. November 2nd, 8 a.m., courtroom 201. Thank you, sir.
Morning, Judge. Jawan Ware.
Doing well. You Mr. Vincente?
No, sir. Jawan Ware.
Joan Ware. Okay, got it. Thank you, Mr. Ware.
It's gonna be Spanish speaker. We got to put it in.
All righty, got it. Mr. Ware, it's alleged you committed the following offenses, sir. Driving with an expired license, no insurance, there's a window tint violation, an improper muffler, carrying a concealed weapon, as well as not having your license on your person. Do you understand the allegations, sir, or do you want me to read them to you?
Yes, sir. I understand them.
All right, Mr. Ware, your bond this morning is $8,000. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Ware? All right, and Mr. Ware, all of these offenses are misdemeanors. So court date right now is set for the 2nd of November. If you make bond, that day will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. Or you have the option, Mr. Ware, of trying to speed it up, in which case you'll have your court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. Do you want to keep November the 2nd and make bond, or do you want to speed it up?
I'll make bond, sir.
All righty, thank you, sir. You're going to get your next court date in the mail. Have a good afternoon.
Morning, Judge. Miles Willis.
This is the add-on, Judge Miles Willis.
Yes, sir. I'm good. Mr. Willis. Let me pull that thing. It says that you were driving DUI less safe, sir, as well as failed to obey a traffic control device. Do you understand the allegations, or do you want me to read them to you?
I understand, Judge.
All right, Mr. Willis, the bond is $4,500. Will you be able to make bond, Mr. Willis?
Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Willis, the offenses are a misdemeanor. So if you make bond, sir, your court date right now is scheduled for November the 2nd. If you make bond, that day will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. You also have the option of speeding the process up if you want to have an earlier court date and what's called waiving your preliminary hearing. If you choose to waive your preliminary hearing, you'll have your next court date within the next 7 to 10 business days. But at all costs, if you make bond, that date will be canceled and you get your next court date in the mail. So what would you like to do? Would you like to just keep that court date and make bond, or do you want to speed it up?
What should I make bond, Judge?
Thank you, sir. Have a good one then. I'm going to write it down and you'll get your next court date in the mail. All right, sir? Thank you.
Ready to go all the way back.
All right, guys, give me a second. I'll do the dialing today. Hey, I'll dial it.
Hey, they're ready to go all the way back.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
You have the names already, Your Honor?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Corey, I'll dial it because you educated me yesterday, so I shouldn't be putting out my stuff over the airwaves. So thank you, sir.
No problem, Your Honor.
Welcome to Language Line Solutions. Please enter your 6-digit client ID. Thank you for calling Language Line Solutions. This is Priscilla, ID 311510. I'll be your Spanish interpreter today. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Good morning, ma'am. I have before me, I tell you, I'm gonna do one at a time. I have Mr. Vincente, and Mr. Vincente is charged with not having a license, and his bond is $1,000.
Hola, señor Vicente. Voy a ser su intérprete en esta ocasión. El oficial dice se le está cargando con no poseer una licencia de manejo y su fianza es de $1,000.
¿Cuánto dijo?
$1,000.
Ajá, está bien.
Okay, now,
That's fine.
well, let him know that I'm going to allow him to sign himself out, and his next court date is November the 2nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201.
Ok. Voy a dejarlo que firme su salida y su siguiente fecha de corte va a ser para el día 2 de noviembre a las 8 de la mañana en el cuarto de la corte 201.
¿200 qué?
201.
Uno. ¿Dirección qué es?
And what is the address for the courtrooms?
201.
Ah. Aquí es Clayton.
Es el cuarto de la corte 200. It's here?
Yes, it's here. It'll be courtroom 201, and I'm also appointing him an attorney to assist him.
Oh, aquí.
Sí, es aquí mismo en el cuarto 201 y también lo estoy agendando para que un abogado le pueda asistir.
Uno que habla inglés.
Does that attorney speaks English?
No.
Yes, and we'll have an interpreter there in the courtroom for him also.
Sí, y también en el cuarto de la corte vamos a tener un intérprete para usted.
Oh, el día 2 de noviembre.
On November the 2nd then.
Yes, we'll have an interpreter there in the courtroom. Yes.
Está bien.
Vamos a tener un intérprete en la sala de cortes.
Sí. Gracias.
All right. Tell him thank you. That's all.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Gracias, es todo.
Okay. Now I have another gentleman by the name of Fernando Camacho. And Mr. Camacho is charged with not having a license and running a red light. I'm going to allow him to sign himself out also. And his court date is the same, November the 2nd at 8 a.m. in courtroom 201. And yes, we'll have an interpreter there to assist him.
Ok, señor Camacho, soy su intérprete. Está cargado con lo mismo, el no poseer licencia de manejo y haberse cruzado una luz roja. Voy a permitirle irse, pero su siguiente fecha de corte va a ser para el día 2 de noviembre, también a las 8 de la mañana en el cuarto de la corte 201, y se le va a estar agendando a un abogado para que le asista. Va a haber intérpretes en la sala.
Sí, está bien. A las 8 de la mañana, dicen.
Correcto.
Ask him, does he have any questions?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta?
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you also.
Oh, thank you for using our services. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I think that concludes our business.
Yes, sir. We're all good. Did you have anybody?
No, sir. That accounts for everybody on my list. And thank you very much as always.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye. How do I shut this off?
All right, Judge Cooper. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.